Good morning, people. We are almost 3 weeks out. 6 in the morning, I literally just woke up. Just gonna run through a bit of my day, document the progress. Everyone has been enjoying these little vlogs, so I'm just gonna continue doing them. So yeah, let's get to my day. What do I get up to now as soon as I wake up? Jump on the scales, and I was 107.7 kilos. So this last little leg, from to the end of this week and to the end of next week, is going to be finishing off my fat loss, and then I'm going to Ultraflex Rotherham next week. I'll actually try to film that to see Cooper, my coach, going with Oscar as well, IFBB Pro, if you know him, and he's going to look me over, and then we'll start filling for the first show, which will be probably around 2 weeks. So first point of call, hydration. First thing AM, I'll use glutathione max, which is for what I use it for, oxidative stress. It's good for your liver, kidneys as well, I believe. And then HydroFlow, hydration, simple as. First thing I do every single morning is hydrate. That's what you want to be doing. So heading over to the goodies in the fridge. You don't have to keep these in the fridge. I had a few people messaging me saying, why don't you keep your Clen in the fridge? Does it last for longer? But it's just where I keep it, because it's all close to my health supplements. So 100 mcg of Clen for me, 25 mcg of T3, and then 200 mcg of T4. Sweeties. I will then take my assortment of health supplements. So ones to mention, I won't go through all of them, but Omega Pharma Pro, Vital Support, Heart Care, Telmisartan, and Vitamin C, D3K2, and there's some other bits that I won't bother going into. So now I'll come into my workspace, my desk, and just get some tasks done that don't need much talking. I'll do my check-ins after I've done my posing. So as you can see here, I don't know if you can see, writing up a webinar for my clients, just regarding nutrient and meal timings, or I might watch a webinar myself, take notes, or I might do a client setup, just something that doesn't involve me talking. I like to have a bit more energy for my check-ins once I've woken up a bit, but you know, just kind of zoning out here in the morning with a coffee, put some music on, like some very calming music, just to get a bit of work done is quite nice for me. And then what we'll do is I'll go for my steps on the treadmill, do a bit of ab work, and then check in. Now, in an ideal world, I would wake up and check in straight away, but it's pitch black when I get up, and I do have a box light, it's not as good as the daylight on my physique for that accuracy. So yeah, I measure the amount of water I have before my check-in, so it is consistent. It's like 500 ml of water. Every now and again I'll have a coffee first thing. I don't always, to be honest. I normally have it after, but just this morning I'm a bit slow and would like some energy. And I'll show you my check-in that I'm sending over to my coach. And then it'll be just meal one, and then back to check-ins again. So it's getting a bit lighter now, sun's coming up. So it's time to go do my steps, get the abs done, and then also pose and check in with Kuba. Now, before then, I'm gonna make my cream of rice because I like to eat it cold. So what I'll do is I'll cook it and then stick it in the freezer so that as soon as I'm done posing, it's there ready for me, so I'm not having to then make it. So yeah, let's get going. The cream of rice I'm using right now is Trained by JP cream of rice, chocolate peanut butter cup. Yeah. My favorite though is maple syrup or cookies and cream. I thought I'd try this new one out. It still is very good, but I like maple syrup better. It's a bit of a stronger flavour. And now this is the winner. Performance Isolate, Trained by JP, cinnamon Danish. My God, is this good. I can even smell it through the bag. It's just next level. Posing done, check-in sent to the coach. And you know, I don't love the look right now. Obviously I've just come off the back of being very full, where I showed you with my refeed, and I was like, holy shit, my physique has come to life. Now obviously we're now back into digging for more fat loss for the next, it will be a couple weeks, so I'm halfway through the first week, and you know, I'm just running flat again. Now it's very important during a prep setting to ride through these waves. You're not going to love how you look all the time. It's very much a mind game, and just trusting the process and pushing through, because if you cannot hold the perfect look throughout prep, the goal is to look your perfect look on the day of the show. So you will have to run flat, and you will just have to push through and carry on. Obviously, you know, you will go through periods where you're just like, I don't love the way I look, but you can't let it get you down or get in your head or stop you doing your tasks. Like yesterday, for example, I had a really shit day mentally with how I looked. Not to the point where I'm like, oh God, I'm spiraling out of control. I just didn't like the way I looked. I was flat. The lighting in the flat was horrible because it was like really dull and gloomy. And I was just like, oh, fuck this. I was posing, and I just didn't like the way I looked, and then I was just in a mood for the rest of the day. I just didn't look at my physique for the rest of the day, other than obviously, you know, just brushing my teeth or looking in the mirror or whatever. But it's just one of those things that everyone goes through, and it's very normal. Everyone does it. Pros, Olympians, you know, running flat is not fun, but it's necessary to get in condition. If you never let yourself run flat, you will never get truly lean, because you need that to be in that spot where your food's, you know, in a calorie deficit, you're digging hard for that condition. And then when you're depleted and you're flat, it's the perfect situation to fill from. So when you're flat and deflated, depleted of glycogen, then when you put food in, you fill very easily and you won't spill. If you just keep feeding yourself and you don't get in condition, then you carb up for a show, you'll just be soft and, you know, not as full. So you need to just push through, keep your mind on the go ahead, trust the process and not get in your head about it. Me personally, yesterday I sent pictures to my coach. I took my check-in photos, literally looked at them for about 5 seconds. I didn't like what I looked like, and I sent them to him and I just deleted them, because I don't want to sit there just picking them apart. Now today I feel a little bit better, took them and I'm a bit happier with the look, but I know that in a week and a half food's going in and I'm going to be filling, you know, getting fresh for the show for, you know, about 2 weeks, and the look's just going to be incredible. So I just got to trust what I'm doing, get my head down and just focus on the daily tasks, not getting my head about it. Simple as. Okay, time to train. Got my pre-workout meal here. I did have meal 2 before this. Now, this is my pre-meal. This isn't a full day of eating, but I'll run you through it. 125 grams of dry weight jasmine rice, 200 grams of raw weight chicken. I've got some kimchi, lettuce, and then the sauce. If you've watched my full day of eating, I used the 0% fat Greek yogurt. I've then got 20 grams of which is like 11 calorie, pretty much all protein, no artificial sweeteners, very good. Then we got 100 grams of pineapple still in the fridge. I'll eat that nice and cold. Meal before this was just slightly less rice, slightly more protein. I'll have a smaller hit of protein with the pre-meal, so it's easier to digest, quicker to digest, because then I'm also having an intra-workout protein hit, and then a bigger supply of carbs to fuel the session. Gonna do push day. I'm very excited for push. I always love a push day. It's the best pump, right? And I will do a voiceover of the full session, do some posing, and then we'll call it a day. Yes, people, we are on to push day. So starting off with a lying cable lateral raise. My favorite, probably my favorite side delt exercise, just because of the stability. With any side delt exercise, you want to be as stable as possible. So seated, lying, chest supported, to minimize any momentum. And then you want to imagine reaching out and touching the sides, the walls, rather than sort of pulling it up to the ceiling. This is going to, take away as much trap as possible and just keep it on that side delt. I like to start any push day with this because it doesn't take away from my pressing, and it's a low fatiguing movement. So 3 sets of this here, and then we'll be moving on to the first chest compound. So Smith machine here, Smith machine incline, just warming up here with the 2 plates, feeling very good today. And then we're moving on to the 2.5, and then please notice the elbows, keep them a bit tucked, okay? And we're just going to keep it on the chest and away from the front delts. Got my head on a little platform there, just for that support. And then I just want to keep the chest up, and then on the way down, big breath in, and then as you're in sort of like the last 25%, force all your air up into the midsection and just make sure it's rock solid, and then exhale out. Bracing is super important for any big compound, to be honest. Well, any exercise, but especially the big compounds, presses, squats, leg press, hip hinges. Bracing is so underrated. So 2 sets of this, top set film there. So then we're on to the prime flat chest press, which is very, very nice. You can get the elbows nice and tucked, and it also converges nicely, and also you can change the setting so it's very heavy in the length and the stretch, which I've done here. So we did 2 sets of this, and this is the top set here. So yeah, just basically really want to emphasize that stretch, and just kind of try and keep the shoulders pinned down a bit so you're not shrugging them up. That's what I tended to do before, without making adjustments, and then just keeping the chest up as you're pressing and not sort of letting it cave in. And as you can see, it's a very nice movement. You can get a nice convergence. Convergence? I don't know whether that's the right word, but yeah, it converges at the end, so it comes across, which is ideal after the Smith, because that doesn't. So onto the dip machine. This is the Atlantis dip. We've adapted this a little bit, put those blue balls on the end, so it's almost like a bit of a JM press. This is quite nice. I can't load this too heavy. I had a bit of an elbow twinge when I started putting this very heavy with the gym pin. So just keep it to a bit more moderate weight now, and just really emphasize that lengthen and squeeze at the bottom, contract the triceps at the bottom. You almost want to make this like a bit of a compound with where it's placed in the session, so a bit more leant over and getting a bit of that lower chest involved as well, and so it's not just tricep. I will start loading this up a bit heavier in the off season, to be fair, but I am 3 weeks out, so just playing it safe. Now, interesting one here, machine fly. Please note where my hands are. Adapted this today. Saw John Jewett doing it, and honestly, this is the best connection I've ever felt on a machine fly. You want to be driving those elbows together, and doing it like this really prevents you from stopping and rolling your shoulders forward, which will be basically taking it off the pec and put it on the front delts. So this is a great adaptation. Honestly, I'm going to be continuing to do this. You can't load it too heavy because it's slightly awkward, but you just got to make sure you really take advantage of that stretch, as you can see there. And I've loaded it in the stretch, so it's super hard there. So you just make sure you emphasize that. But yeah, unreal. I'll be doing that again. And then I did do some overhead single arm tricep extensions to train the tricep in the lengthened, which I love doing. And I want to start getting quite heavy with the overhead cable skull crushers in the off season. But I didn't film it. So now this is the second tricep exercise, which is just a long rope tricep push down. Simple enough. Just want to be pivoting at the elbow. And not swinging yourself around. This got pretty heavy pretty quick. This is the last set that I filmed.
It's been a while since I could hold my head up high. consequences.